nerds, we got a request to talk about the Heralds of Galactus, and with all the excitement surrounding Fantastic Four First Steps, how could we refuse? So let's soar across the galaxy together and get into the 616 Heralds of Galactus. 10. The Fallen One. He was a herald to not only Galactus, but Thanos too. He was Galactus's very first herald, so he's kind of like the prototype, which means he's a little bit different than all the other heralds. Instead of being energized with the power cosmic, he got dark energy, the binding halo by which galaxies are made solvent, or whatever that means. Point is he was very powerful. He was so cruel that Galactus actually felt he had to imprison him though. The Fallen One would chase Galactus throughout the universe until Thanos got his hands on him and forced him to be his herald instead. The Fallen One did eventually fall, and his power was transferred to an urn. 9. Nova, but not the Nova Core Nova. This is Frankie Ray. She had fire abilities similar to the Human Torch, just on a slightly lower level. Not for long though, because she eventually became a herald for Galactus and everything was dialed up to 11. This benefited her and Galactus. Galactus had just experienced a major betrayal from a past herald, was in the market for a new one, and Frankie was eager to explore. Eventually, it took a toll on her mental health and she began hiding inhabited planets, leading to her being discharged as a herald. 8. Stardust. I'm obsessed with Stardust. They were originally a shapeless being called an ethereal, transforming into Stardust. Their body is now composed of pure cosmic energy that can save them from almost anything. They did two things that no herald has done before, at least up until that point. 1. Given up their own race to Galactus, and 2. Fell in love with Galactus. Stardust was also able to escape from a black hole that they did open, but it is still pretty cool nonetheless. 9. Shalla-Bal. Shalla-Bal is having a moment in the sun right now thanks to Fantastic Four First Steps, and rightfully so because she was so cool in the movie. The scenes of her surfing in space? Unmatched. Anyways, she is quite powerful of course. In the film, we saw her escape from a black hole, but in the comics, she was able to restore an entire ecosystem with just a touch, and later she was able to wield a fusion of magic and tech called the Illuminatrix. She also has the power to cause a bunch of fans to just lose their minds simply by existing. 6. Connor Sims. Sims was Galactus's first herald of life. After the World Devourer was set free of his curse and became the Life Bringer, he encountered Connor Sims. Sims was a human turned unstable antimatter villain, Anti-Man. He sought to destroy the world as revenge for the average person's hateful intolerance. However, he was eventually redeemed and called upon by Galactus to help free eternity. The Sentry was apparently impressed by his powers, which is saying something considering everything that the Sentry has going on, but in the end, Sims ended up sacrificing himself to save the day. 5. The Human Torch. Johnny Storm was once a Galactus herald, and he was so powerful that he reduced Galactus back to his human form. After a major battle on Earth, Galactus claimed Johnny as his new herald, but Johnny didn't really want the gig and decided to spend his time and use his powers to analyze Galactus to see how to defeat the Devourer. With the help of his team and some friends, Johnny was able to successfully reduce Galactus back to his humanoid form. Eventually, Johnny's power cosmic abilities faded and things went back to how they were before. 4. Airwalker. This herald could easily be Galactus's favorite, and I say that because when the original Airwalker was eliminated, Galactus made a perfect robot replica of him. Sure, Airwalker wasn't as intelligent or well known as some of the other heralds, but he had a love of space and actually wanted to hear all of Galactus's stories about the universe. And for a being that's been around for like billions of years like Galactus has, it must feel good to have someone actually care to hear about your adventures no matter how gruesome. 3. The Herald of Thunder, Thor. Just when you thought Thor couldn't get any cooler or more powerful, he does. In order to fight off a new villain, the Black Winter, Galactus was told by the Black Winter that Thor would be his undoing. And you keep your friends close but your enemies closer. To keep an eye on Thor, he made him his new Herald of Thunder. The pair had to work together to defeat this Black Winter by having Galactus eat 5 particular planets, and Thor working to evacuate those planets in time. Thor led the Devourer to the planets, but it was revealed that Galactus was actually a herald of the evil himself and just didn't want to be anymore. Thor, angry, stripped the space god of his new power and used him as an explosive to defeat this new enemy. 2. Norrin Radd. Of course the Silver Surfer is here. Norrin Radd is definitely the most famous Galactus Herald, believed to be one of the most powerful beings in the universe. He often holds back his power, and with the right energy boost, it's estimated that he could single-handedly destroy entire galaxies. As his regular self, he was very intelligent, which often does help him in his herald duties. It's hard to beat the Silver Surfer, but he isn't number 1. Morg is, and that is because Morg is absolutely ruthless and doesn't have the weakness that the Silver Surfer has, compassion. Norrin Radd has shown a few times that he doesn't love his line of work. However, Morg is all in. Like, this is his dream job. Unlimited power, and he gets to cause the suffering of billions. That's everything he wants and more. Now, there was another Herald like that named Terrax that didn't make this list, so sorry to him, but unlike Terrax, Morg was loyal to Galactus. It took 5 former Heralds to take Morg down, but it didn't matter in the end because Galactus just resurrected him. He's cheated death quite a few times until recently when the Phoenix came by and encased him in metal. But what are you thinking? Who is your favorite Herald of Galactus? Let us know in the comment section. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye, nerds!